Jack was driving home late one night. It was a dark country road, the trees pressed close on either side. His headlights barely cut through the darkness. Suddenly there was a loud bang. The car lurched violently. Jack struggled to control the steering wheel. He pulled over to the side of the road. His heart pounded in his chest. He knew, a flat tire. Jack sighed. This was all he needed. He got out of the car. The night air was cold and damp. He could hear the wind whistling through the trees. In the distance, he saw a light. It seemed to be coming from a small cabin set back from the road. Jack hesitated. He didn't like the look of the cabin. It looked derelict, maybe even dangerous. He thought about his options. He could try to change the tire himself, but it was dark and he was tired. He could call for help, but there was no signal on his mobile. The light in the distance flickered. Jack made up his mind. He would go to the cabin and ask for help. As he walked towards the light, his mind raced. What if someone was in the cabin? What if they were dangerous? He tried to calm himself down. He told himself he was being ridiculous. But the closer he got to the cabin, the more anxious he felt. The wooden door creaked ominously as Jack pushed it open. Inside, the cabin was small and sparsely furnished. A fire crackled in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the walls. A figure sat hunched over in a rocking chair, its back to Jack. "Hello?" Jack called out, his voice trembling slightly. The figure didn't respond. It just continued rocking back and forth, slowly, deliberately. Jack's anxiety spiked. He couldn't see the figure's face. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, very wrong. His mind conjured up images from every horror film he'd ever seen. He imagined the figure leaping from the chair. He imagined a weapon in its hand. He imagined... "Hello?" he repeated, his voice louder this time. The figure stopped rocking. It turned slowly. Jack's breath caught in his throat. He braced himself for the worst. It was an old man. His face was etched with wrinkles. His eyes, though, were bright and alert. He looked at Jack with a mixture of curiosity and confusion. "Can I help you, son?" the old man asked, his voice raspy with age. But Jack wasn't hearing him. His mind was still racing. He saw the old man's hand move. He was sure he saw a weapon, a glint of metal. His anxiety overwhelmed him. He lashed out. Jack's fist connected with the old man's jaw. The old man cried out in pain and surprise. He fell back against the rocking chair, his eyes wide with shock. Jack stood over him, his chest heaving, his fists still clenched. For a moment there was silence. Then the old man began to laugh. It was a low, rumbling sound, full of amusement, not malice. "Easy there, son," he chuckled, rubbing his jaw. "I'm just an old man." Jack stared down at him, his heart still pounding. Slowly, the fog of anxiety began to clear. He saw the old man, not as a threat, but as he truly was, a harmless old man. Shame washed over him. Proverbs 15:15 says, "All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast." We often get stuck in what I call the nurse, curse, and rehearse cycle. We nurse our anxieties, letting them grow and fester. We curse ourselves and our circumstances, focusing on the negative, and we rehearse worst-case scenarios, feeding our fears. Like Jack, we misinterpret situations because our anxiety colors our perception. The dark road, the isolated cabin, the figure in the shadows, all became amplified in Jack's mind, leading to an irrational reaction. So how can we break free from this cycle? Firstly, challenge your anxious thoughts. Are they based on facts or on fear? Secondly, focus on what you can control. You can't control everything, but you can control your reactions. Thirdly, practice mindfulness. Pay attention to the present moment rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Remember, overcoming anxiety is a journey, not a destination. There will be good days and bad days. But with each step you take towards understanding and managing your anxiety, you'll find yourself better equipped to navigate the twists and turns of life's road.